Hello guys, I'm Clinton. If this is your first time of watching my YouTube video, please do well to subscribe and click on the red button so that whenever I publish a new video, you will be the first person to get notification. In our today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to read, crop, resize, and convert image from RGB to grayscale images. If you are not familiar with Python, Anaconda, Spyder, IDE, don't worry. In my next tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to install and do the necessary settings to get started with Python. In this tutorial, it is mainly for Python beginners. So let's get started. The first thing that you are going to do is to import CV2, that is OpenCV. OpenCV is a Python library that are mainly used for image processing. It can be used for image processing like cropping, analyzing image, resizing, converting image from one color to another color, for example RGB to gray, and so on. So let's import OpenCV. Import CV2. So CV2 is the shortcut of OpenCV. So if you're not familiar with OpenCV library, you can go to Google and type OpenCV documentation. So here, for example, we have OpenCV 4.1, then we have 4.2. So you're going to choose the one that's going to give you better answer to your question. 4.1 and 4.2 are the same thing. The only difference is that 4.2 is the upgrade version of 4.1. So I urge you to read OpenCV library in order to get more insight of what OpenCV is all about. So let's go back to our code. So the next line of code is going to be the image part. So I'm going to write a code that's going to read my part. I'm going to write a code that's going to read the part of my image. So let's say that image part is going to be, so let's copy the part of our image. So my image is here, so I want to read this image called runner. So what I'm going to do is to copy the part of my image. So let me copy the part of the image. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put it here, Control V. So because I'm using window, I'm going to change this to slash. Okay, then I'm going to write the name of my image, that is runner.jpg. jpg is the format of my image. We have png and we have others. So here, the next thing I'm going to do here is to read this image. So I'm going to say that my image img is going to be cv2.imread. So I'm going to choose this one, imread of the image part. So I'm going to choose the part. So what this code is telling us is that I want to read this image in this particular part. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to write a code that's going to show me the size of this image, because I don't know if this image is 1000 by 1000 or 500 by 500. So I'm going to write a code that's going to give me the size of this image. So I'm going to say that print image, that is img dot shape, the shape of the image. So before I print the shape of this image, I'm going to write a code that says cv2 dot weight key of 0. Then I'm going to write again cv2 dot destroy all windows. So I'm going to come back to explain this code. So let's print the shape of this image. So let me run the code and see what it's going to look like. Okay, from here you can see that the shape of this image, that is the pixel size of this image, is 469 by 700, and it is a 3-channel image. The 3 here means that this image is an RGB image, so it's a color image. So 469 here is the height of the image, while 700 here is the width of the image. So the next code I'm going to write here is that I'm going to write a code to show this image. So I'm going to say that cv2 dot imshow of this image img. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to rename that image that I want to show. So let's name it as our original image. So the name of this image is going to be original image. Then I'm going to then write the image. Okay, so this is the code. So let's run the code and see what it's going to be. So here is the image. You can see the name that I just wrote here, original image. That is the name of this image that I have just read. So what this particular code is telling us, that is cv2.waitKey, is that as I put 0 here, this 0 means that this image is going to remain in this screen until I press any key on my computer. So for example, let me press any key on my computer. You can see that I just press any key on my computer and the image just disappear. So if you want this image to disappear, maybe in 1000 milliseconds, so you can see that the image just show and disappear. So you can still reduce it to 500. So let's run the code again. You can see it. So I don't want to allow my image to disappear. So what I'm going to do is to just set it 0 here. So it's going to allow my image to stay until I press any key on my computer. So the next code I'm going to write is to write a code that's going to convert this image into a grayscale image, that is black and white image. Okay, I can say that image underscore gray is equals to cv2 dot cv2 dot cvt color. So the first input I'm going to choose here is going to be our image img. Then the second input I'm going to take is that I will convert this image into a grayscale image. So I'm going to write cv2 dot color. So here you will find out that we have different kinds of color. The first one here is BGR to gray, BGR to HSV, BGR to RGB. So I'm going to choose the first one because I want to convert my image to grayscale image. So you can see that, you can see the code cv2.color BGR to grayscale image. So the next code I'm going to write here, I'm going to show this image. So I'm going to write cv2 dot IamShow of the first input I'm going to put here is going to be the name of the image. So I'm going to name the image as gray image. Okay, let me say grayscale image. Okay, the name of the image is going to be grayscale image. Then it's going to take another function, that is img underscore gray. Okay, so let us run the code and see what it's going to give us. You can see this one is the original image and this is the grayscale image. The two images have the same size but different color. So this is my grayscale image and this is the original image. So the next code I'm going to write is that I want to resize this image. This is my original image. I want to resize it to 1000 by 1000. I want to make the height to be 1000 and the width to be 1000. So what I'm going to do here is to, on the top, I'm going to define a function. I'm going to write a code that says width comma height. Let it be equals to 1000 comma 1000. Remember that our original size is 469 and 700. The height is 469 and the width is 700. So I want to make this image bigger than the original one. So I want to make it 1000 by 1000. So the next thing I'm going to do is to write a code that is going to resize this image. So I'm going to say that image img underscore resize is going to be cv2 dot resize. So the first input I'm going to take my original image, that is img, then I'm going to resize this. I'm going to take the width of this image. I've already defined the width. Then I'm going to take the height of this image. So this is the code. So the next thing I'm going to do here is that I'm going to show this image. So I'm going to write cv2 dot imshow. So the first input I'm going to take here, I'm going to name this particular image that I want to resize. So it's going to, the name is going to be resized image. Then the next thing that is going to take is the img underscore resized. So let's run the code and see what it's going to give us. So you can see here, this is the grayscale image, and this is the original image, and this is the resized image. You can see that this image is bigger than this one. So this is the resized image, and the shape of this image is 1000 by 1000. So let's continue. The next thing I'm going to do here is to write a code that is going to crop the original image. So here, this is the original image, and this original image, I want to crop this particular place, and I want to crop this place. I only want to get the actual image of this person. So I want to remove this background, then I want to remove this background. So I want to get only from here to here. I want to get something like a rectangle from here to here. So what am I going to do? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a code that says img underscore crop is going to be cv2 dot cv2. No, I'm not going to use cv2. I'm going to say that I'm going to take that image that I want to crop, then I'm going to put it here. So the first thing I'm going to define the height of the original image. So I'm going to start from the origin of this image. So the origin of that image, I'm going to take 0. So I'm going to take the height from 0 to the end. So the end of the image is 469. I want to take all the height. Then for the width of this image, I'm going to take from 160 to maybe 510. So the height of the image, I want to take from all the height of this image from 0 to 469. That is the whole height of the image. Then from the width, I want to take maybe from 160 to 510. So I'm going to remove from 0 to 160. Then I'm going to remove 511 to 700. So I just want to get the part containing the runner. I want to get the runner exactly. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to show this image. So I'm going to write cv2 dot imshow, cv2 dot imshow. So the first input I'm going to write, or the first input that this code is going to take, is the name of the image. So I'm going to say that the name of this image is going to be cropped. It's going to be cropped image. That is the name. So you can choose any name, but I'm going to choose cropped image. Then it's going to take another input, that is the img underscore crop. So what I'm going to do now is to run the code and see what it's going to give us. So you can see here, this is the original image, and this is the cropped image. You can see that here, this is the origin, this is the height. From here to here is the height of this image. So I take the whole height from 0 to 469. Then the width, of this image. Now I took 160 to 510, that is 510. So I remove from 0 to 159, that is should be here. Then I remove 511 to 700. So from here to here is going to be 160 to 510. That is what exactly this particular image is telling us. So from here to here is from 0 to 469, and here is going to be 160 to 510. So that is the explanation of this particular image, cropped image. Okay, let's go back to our code. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to resize this cropped image. I want to resize this image that we just cropped back to the original image. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write a code that says img cropped resize. Img cropped resize is going to be, so cv2 dot resize. So I'm going to take two inputs. This code is going to take two inputs. The first one is that image cropped, that I want to resize it again, is going to take image cropped. Then I want to resize it to the original size. I want to resize it back to the original size of that image. So I'm going to take another input that says img dot shape. So the first shape is the width. So I'm going to take 1, that is the width of the original image. Then I'm going to take another thing, the height, img dot shape, so it's going to take 0. So here what this code is telling us is that I want to resize this image that I just cropped back to the original image, that the original image of the runner. So here I'm going to take that image, that is img cropped. Then I'm going to take the another input, that is the width, that is img.shape. So 1 here is indicating the width of the image. Then 0 here is indicating the height of the original image. Remember that the original image is, the size of the original image is 469 and 700. That to say that the height is 469 and the width is 700. So I want to resize the cropped image back to the original image. So in order to show this image cropped resize, I'm going to write a code here that says cv2.imshow. cv2.imshow is going to take the name of the image. So what name are we going to give this image? So I'm going to say runner underscore cropped resize. So you can see cv2.imshow runner cropped resize. So it's going to take another input, that is the image img cropped resize. Okay, so let's run the code and see what it's going to give us. Wow. Okay, so this is the original image, our first image, the original one, and this is the one that I just resized. You can see that. Okay, this is the cropped image and this is the one that I just resized. So this one, I resized this image back to the original size of the image. You can find out that this background here and this background here, they are not in this image because this is the image that I just resized. So the difference in these two images is that this one is more brighter than this one, because whenever you crop an image and you want to resize it back to the original image, the pixels are not going to be the same. So what this image is telling us is that whenever you crop an image and you want to resize it back to the original image, or you want to resize it to another size, the pixel value are not going to be the same because you have already removed some features in the image. So the next thing we are going to do in this tutorial is that we are going to organize our code. What do I mean by organizing our code? We're going to make our code to look more organized and good looking. So we're going to write, maybe we're going to write something that will help us to remember what this particular code is telling us. So for example, we're going to make some comments on each code. For example, this one is telling us about grayscale image. So we're going to say that we're going to write something like converting image from maybe from color to grayscale, something like that. Converting image from color to gray scale. Okay, then the next one, so from here we're going to write some comments. So we're going to write maybe reading image. I'm going to write here reading image. Then the next thing we're going to do here, we're going to write another comment. So for example, we're going to say resizing image. Then this one, we're going to write another comment. For example, we're going to say cropping image. Okay, then the last one here, we're going to make another comment. We're going to say resizing image, resizing cropped image back to the original size. Okay, resizing cropped image back to the original size. All this comment is going to help you to remember what the code is all about. So let's run the code for the final time before we go. You can see the whole image. You can see the first one, that is the original image. You can see the second one, the grayscale image. Then you can see the resized image. Then you can see the cropped image, and finally runner cropped resize. Okay guys, I'm going to leave the code. I'm going to provide the source code in the comment section. So if you like this video, please comment. In the next tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to install Python, Anaconda, and Spyder IDE. Thank you very much for watching. Do well to have a wonderful day. Bye.